Well, good evening, Dulcimer friends. Here we are, friends and neighbors, once again, getting ready to give you a little music for your coronavirus shut-in time. Let's switch instruments here. Go to the key of D for this one. This is Train Tuesday. I'm glad y'all are with us. Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Oh, how can I explain? My little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? When I was just a kid, living by the track, us kids would gather up the coal in a big old gunny sack. We'd see the warning sound that the train held into view. Engineer would smile and wave as he come rolling through. Well, she blew so loud and clear, we had to cover up our ears. And I can almost hear the steam in the driver's room. I can almost... Well, we screwed that one up royally. Ha. Let's start that again. Miserable. Miserable time of it. Let's take this off. Take off our hat and coat and join instead of spell. Can everybody hear all right? I can't see your comments, I'm so far away. Let me get up here and look. Jim Fawcett, yeah, here we go. It's stuck. No, it's not now. It's good. Tell you what, let's go back to this one. Here's one everybody knows. I hope. Well, they give him his orders at Monroe, Virginia, saying, Steve, you're way behind time. This is not 38, no, it's old 97. Just put her in dispenser on time. Then he turned around and said to his black greasy fireman, shovel on a little more coal. When we cross old White Oak Mountain, you can watch old 97 roll. It's a mighty rough road from Lynchburg to Danville. It's a line on a 3-mile grade. Was all that great that he lost his air brake? Don't you see what a jump he made? Was going down grade, making 90 miles an hour. His whistle began to scream. Found him the wreck with his hands on the throttle. He was scalded to death by the steam. This message was received at Washington Station. This is how it read. That brave engineer that drove on 97, he is laying in Danville dead. Now, ladies, you must take warning from this time on and learn. For speak harsh words to your true love husband, may leave you and never return. All right, that's the old regular old 97. Let's see if we can do another one here in G, maybe. From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the green of flowing mountains to the southlands by the shore, she's mighty tall and handsome, she's known quite well by all. She's the combination on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar. She glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. There's a mighty rush of the engine near the lonesome hobo's call, traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Now the eastern states are dandy, so the western people say, from New York and Chicago and St. Louis by the way, from the hills of Minnesota where the rippling waters fall, no changes can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. The mighty rush of the engine with a lonesome hobo's call, you're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Here's to Daddy Claxton, man named the river stand, always be remembered round the courts of Alabama. His earthly race is over and the curtain round him falls. We'll carry him home to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. Now listen to the jingle, hear the rumble and the roar. She lies along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. There's a mighty rush of the engine near them lonesome hobo's call, traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Well, there we go, the little Wabash Cannonball action there for you. Yes, friends, that's a good one I like. Hope you like it too. Long well, maybe. Let's try this old one. You know, there's one thing about railroads that kind of goes along with them, and that's hobos. People out there riding the rails. Hard life. Free life, they said. It's about one. Hobo Bill and his last ride. Riding on an eastbound freight train, speeding through the night. Hobo Bill, a railroad bum, was fighting for his life. Sadness of his eyes revealed the torture of his soul. He raised a weak and weary hand to brush away the cold. It's Hobo Bill. No warm lights flickered around him, no blanket there to fold. Nothing but the driving wind and the drowning rain so cold. When he heard the whistle blowing in a dreamy kind of way, the hobo seemed contented, for he smiled there where he lay. Outside the rain was falling on that dreary boxcar door, but the little form of Hobo Bill lay still upon the floor. When the train sped through the darkness and the raging storm outside, no one knew that Hobo Bill was taking his last ride. It was early in the morning when they raised the hobo's head. Smile still lingered on his lips, though Hobo Bill was dead. There was no mother longing to soothe his weary soul, for he was just a railroad bum who died out in the cold. Hobo Bill's last ride, yes, friends and neighbors. That was Hobo Bill's last ride. You know, most songs about the train, Wabash Cannonball's an exception. Most songs about the train line is sad. You know, there's another one called Just the Last Ride. I'll give you a little story. When I was just a little shaver, had my first guitar. I did. About 8 years old. A couple of years later, they had a talent show at school. A talent show. And yes, I was bold enough to enter. Now, that guitar that I had, my parents didn't know nothing about music. I wanted a guitar because my uncle out in California, Dad's brother, played. I thought that was something, hearing him for the first time. You know, I'd seen Chet Atkins on TV. I'd seen this one and that one. But being in the same room as Bud picking that guitar, I wanted one. Well, my father didn't do anything sensible, like call Bud, his brother, and ask him what kind of guitar he should get me. No, he went down to Otasco, Oklahoma Tire and Supply, or Western Auto, and got one with strings about, I don't know, that high off the neck. My little old fingers blistered, but I tried to persevere. I learned a few chords, put them in some kind of order. Wasn't even sure they were right. Didn't care. Stood up there with that guitar and stood up there behind that microphone and I sang this. Hank Snow was my favorite country singer and still is. You know, Hank Williams is wonderful. Lefty Frizzell is marvelous. Ernest Tubb I saw 3 times. Hank Snow only got to see once, but that was enough. I loved his music. He did there was an album on RCA Camden with this as the title cut, and I had learned it, and here we go. This is called Just the Last Ride. In the Dodge City yards of the Santa Fe stood a freight made out for the east, and the engineer with his oil and waste was grooming the great iron beast, while 10 cars back in an empty box near Oboe side. Well, Oboe lifted his pal aboard to start on his last long ride. The lantern swung and the freight pulled out, the engine had gathered speed. The engineer took the throttle in hand, then he clucked to his fiery steed. 10 cars back in the empty box, a hobo rolled a pill, and the glare of the match showed his partner's face stark white and deathly still. As the train wheels clicked on the coupling joint, song of the Ramblers is. Hobo talked to that still white phone, pal for many a year. Said for a mighty long time we rambled, Jack, with the luck of men that roamed, with a back door step for a dining room and a boxcar for a home. Well, we dodged the bulls on the eastern routes and the cops on the Chesapeake. We even traveled the Leadville narrow gauge in the days of Cripple Creek. We drifted down through sunny Cal on the rails of the old SP. And of all you had through good and bad, half always belonged to me. You made me promise to you, Jack, that if I lived and you cashed in, I'd take you back to the old churchyard and bury you there with your kin. You seemed to know I'd keep my word. You said that I was white. Well, I'm keeping my promise to you, pal. I'm taking you home tonight. Well, I hadn't the money to send you there, so I'm taking you back on the fly. It's a decent way for a beau to go home to the by and by. 'Cause I knew that fever had you, Jack. That doctor just wouldn't come. Nah, he's too busy treating wealthy folks. Doctor a wore-out bum. As the train rolled over its ribbon of steel, straight through to the east it sped, and the engineer in his high-cap seat kept his eye on the rails ahead, while 10 cars back in the empty box, lonely hobo cried. For the days of old and his pals so cold, they were taking the last long ride. Yeah, the days of old and his pals cold were taking the last long ride. All right, that was The Last Ride, old Hank Snow song from many years ago. Still remember it to this day. One of my favorites still. Do one a little more modern. I think I'm going to need 4 strings for this. Y'all bear with me 1 second, and I will be right back with a different one. Excuse me, kids. All right. Let me tune this thing up. Or down. I'm putting it in C. Panama Station at Boston to the freight yards of Austin, Florida sunshine to the New Orleans rain. Now that the rail packs taken all the best tracks, you trying, just trying to get home again. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady, spent her whole life on the train. Once a semi-good looker, but the fast rail it took her, trying, just trying to get home again. Once a highballing loner thought he could own her, so he bought her a fur coat and a big diamond ring. But she hopped him for cold cash, left town on the Wabash, not thinking, never thinking of home way back then. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady, spent her whole life on the train. Once a Pullman car traveling, now the brakeman won't have her. She's trying, just trying to get home again. Well, the rails, they're all rusty, and that dining car's dusty. Them gold-plated watches have taken their toll. All the railroads, they're dying as the lady sits crying. One of us to Kentucky, and home that's her goal. She's a railroad lady, just a little bit shady, spent her whole life on the train. Once a semi-good looker, but the fast rail it took her. She trying, just trying to get home again. One of us to Kentucky and home once again. Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rain. 15 cars, 15 restless riders, 3 conductors, 25 sacks of mail. And along the southbound Odyssey, train pulls out farms and fields, passing trains that have no name, and freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of the rusty automobile. Good morning, America, how are you? Hey, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done, dealing card games with the old men in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle, feel the wheels just from beneath the floor. And the sons of Pullman porters, sons of engineers, ride their daddy's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep, they're rocking to that gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all that they hear. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train called City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans, eyes changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, roll on down to the sea. And all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rail still ain't heard the news. Conductor sings his songs again, passengers will please refrain. This train got the disappearing railroad blues. Good night, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train called City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. All right. Anybody saying anything? Anybody leaving any messages? Anybody cussing? I still just got you, Jim. That's it. Well, let's see here. Got started late. I got time for one more. I don't know whether this is the right key or not. I ain't tried to play this in 100 years. I ain't never tried to play it on Dulcimer. Ben Dewberry was brave engineer, told his fireman, don't you watch the drivers roll. Stick your head out the window, watch drivers roll. Bendy said before he died, 2 more roads that he'd like to ride. Hyman said, what can they be? Said the old Northeastern and the Santa Fe. Said the Santa Fe. Santa Fe. He said the old Northeastern and the Santa Fe. Bendy said before he died, 2 more drinks that I'd like to try. Fireman said, what could they be? He said, a hot cup of coffee and a cool glass of tea. Cool glass of tea. Cool glass of tea. Said, a whole cup of coffee and a cool glass of tea. Then looked at his watch, shook his head. May make it land, but we'll all be dead. Train went flying round the troublesome switch. Without any warning, then she took the ditch. Yes, she went in the ditch. Went in the ditch. Without any warning, then she took the ditch. Jimmy Rogers song like Hobo Bill's Last Ride was. Oh, Jimmy Rogers, way back when. The Singing Brakeman, Jimmy Rogers. All right, friends and neighbors, this is the last one. Again, it's from that wonderful Canadian country singer. That was always my favorite, Hank Snow. It was the one that put him on the Grand Ole Opry. It was the one that made him a hit. That big 8-wheeler rolling down the track means true love and daddy ain't coming back. I'm moving on. I'm rolling on. You were flying too high for my little old sky, now I'm moving on. Well, I warned you, baby, from time to time, but you just wouldn't listen, no baby, no mind. I'm moving on. Done your daddy wrong. I'm through with you, too bad you're blue, keep moving on. Switch my engine now, I ain't got time for a trifling woman on my main line. I'm moving on. I'm rolling on. You've broken your vow and it's all over now. I'm moving on. Someday, baby, when you had your play, you're gonna want your daddy, but your daddy will say, keep moving on, keep rolling on. I'm through with you, too bad you're blue, keep moving on. Yes, friends and neighbors, Hank Snow, I'm moving on. And I'm moving on too. And we'll see you, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll see you tomorrow with a different batch of songs. We might do all instrumentals. Maybe we'll do something else. But we'll do our best to entertain you. And we'll see you then. Now, y'all have fun, you hear?